All right, in this video, I'm gonna pull the curtain back and show you guys exactly what I do every single day, every week, every month to make 200K a month as an online coach. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the exact marketing systems that I use, everything, okay? The exact sales process that I use to turn a lead into a book call, into a paying client, and then the exact fulfillment and delivery system that we implement to shoot for a 50% renewal rate. Okay, I'm sharing everything that we do, okay? So that you can implement similar systems in your business to grow and scale too. The systems I'm gonna share with you apply to B2C coaching. So if you're a health and fitness relationship coach, or you just work with individuals, it also works with B2B, okay? This is gonna have both short-term growth strategies as well as long-term growth strategies. When you pair those together, you'll have a lot more consistency in your business, okay? So let's go ahead and transition to my iPad and get started. All right, so during this presentation, I'm gonna go back and forth to my computer to show you guys the funnels, show you guys the systems, everything. And I'm also gonna be presenting here on this iPad right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start this thing off with how do I get more attention? Okay, my marketing system, which is all about getting attention from new people into my ecosystem to eventually get them to book a call. Okay, so for me, everything starts over here in traffic. I have found to date the easiest thing to do to get more attention is run Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay, there are YouTube ads experts, there's organic experts, all that stuff. But I'm telling you, from my experience, this is the easiest because I know that if I can spend $20 to $40 and I can get in front of 1,000 new people with $20 to $40. And if I have a really good offer, I can typically get anywhere from $10 to $25 for a qualified lead. Okay, so again, I like Facebook and Instagram ads because they're very scalable. Now, all of my ads will drive to either 2 lead magnets. Okay, so we have the ads, they drive to 2 lead magnets. Lead magnet number 1 is my Skool group, and it's a paid ads course that teaches people how to do it from start to finish, very basic strategies. And then of course they would need help implementing that, and that's where our paid stuff comes in. The other thing that I'll often drive them to is a video sales letter. Okay, oftentimes people will use call it a free training or even a masterclass or a webinar, all kind of the same. The whole goal of this one here is value. Right? Value plus pitch. Pretty much it. Show them the mechanism and show them how they can use it. And if they want help with it, book a call. Okay. Now, the pros and cons of both of these, I'm going to share with you guys on the screen what the both funnels look like. But the pros of the Skool group is that they are very cheap leads. I'm giving away a course I could charge $1,000 for free. Okay. So I will get very cheap leads, right? So cheap leads here, right? And this is going to build the email list, and that's going to come to the next section in a second, but very cheap leads, while the VSL is going to be a little bit more expensive leads. So to give you context for my Skool group, I can get about $15 leads, $10 to $15 leads. And I'm targeting just coaches making over $5,000 a month, but I get about $15 leads. With the VSL, I'm looking at $30 to $50 leads. And again, I'm B2B. Okay, most of you guys, if you're health and fitness or something like that, your costs are going to be 1/3 of what I'm sharing right now. But again, I can get way more volume, right? Volume here, but I can get better quality and a faster someone opts in, watches the video and books a call. So the VSL is fast, right? Fast, but it's also more expensive. Okay, and then the mini course / Skool group is the opposite, right? It's slow, and it is cheap, okay? So I run them together. Right now, it's about a 50-50 split. I spend about $500 a day on both of them. So I spend about $1,000 a day total. Now, let me show you guys, I'm gonna transfer over to my screen and show you guys what both of these funnels look like, okay? All right, so I'm on my screen now, and here's the VSL funnel. Now, this is on a bigger screen, so when someone opens this on mobile, this is all they would see, right? And this is our current positioning, is we'll help you write your ads, and we will help you build an AI booking bot in your DMs or via SMS text messages to book calls. So somebody would, I want to learn how this system works. And then they go to a video page that just looks like this. Here's our offer, right? Book a call. And then who's this for? Very, very simple page. The whole goal here is to watch this video. You can watch it at 2 times speed. If it's a good fit, they'll book a call. Okay, again, more expensive, more direct to the offer. The other play is, again, this looks weird on this because I have a bigger screen, but when it loads on a normal desktop or on their phone, they'll just see this. And this, again, is that course that I could charge $1,000 for. And again, that's why this is so valuable and has cheaper leads, is they opt into this and then they'll get access to Skool. So inside of Skool is where there is a classroom of content where they can go through it again at their own pace. again, because there's so much content in here, it's a lot longer of a sales cycle because they're not just watching a 10, 20-minute video and booking a call. They've got to go through this. But those that do go through this and book a call close so much higher because they're way more indoctrinated on what we do. All right. So that's that funnel. Now, let me come back to the iPad. Okay, so those are the two places we send traffic to right now. And the third section of this is going to be building a list. Now, this is so important because a lot of people, the reason I run these ads, like I shared before, the Skool group and the VSL ads, is because I'm trying to build an email list. Okay, it's because I do email marketing and I also do text message marketing. And a lot of the DM ads, as well as follower funnels, they're a great place to get started. We help a lot of our clients with that. But at a certain point, you're going to need to move away from that because without a list, you don't have a long-term strategy, right? When you're running ads to your DMs or to more followers, if you don't make a sale within that first 7 to 14 days, they're pretty much gone. Okay. Sure, they might follow you, they might see some of your content, but for the most part, they're gone. But when I'm driving things to these two lead magnets over here, I'm collecting their name, phone number, email, and then I have an email list, right? I have an SMS list, and I actually didn't put it on here, but I also have a whole Skool group, right? I have a Skool group. And inside of this, right, inside of my Skool group, as I shared a second ago, I've got about 4,000 to 5,000 people, actually about 5,000 people in that group. So, my email list, let's just say, I think around this time is about 17,000 emails. Text messages, it's the same. I won't blast all those people, but they opt in, they have to give me their phone number too. And then the Skool group is 5,000, right? So anytime you get, any algorithm changes on Facebook or Instagram or any of the platforms, I've got this list of people saying, hey, I made a new YouTube account. Hey, I made a new thing, and I can email about it. And so many people don't use this, but I'm telling you right now, email marketing is so easy. All I do, which leads me to the next thing, is nurture. I nurture this email list right here and this Skool list right here by sending them YouTube videos. All right. So the YouTube videos is where they get to know they can trust me. If you're watching this video, you probably clicked on an ad, maybe saw an ad, maybe then you looked at me up on YouTube. But that's kind of my funnel. It's like ads at the top, Instagram, Facebook. Middle of funnel is going to be YouTube and some Instagram content, stories, stuff like that. I don't actually do that many stories just because I don't like it. I like this stuff. So this is my middle of funnel, right? And whenever I make a new YouTube video, just like this, I will email about it, right? And I will post in the Skool group. So let me transition over and show you what that looks like, because I legit will just copy and paste the same thing over on both my email, and then I will copy and paste that over into Skool, and then I'll copy and paste it over into LinkedIn, and then I'll copy and paste it over in the Facebook group. So I'm trying to drive as much people as possible to this YouTube. All right. So let's transition back over to my computer so I can show it to you. All right. So we're here. This is the email. It is super simple. Yes, ChatGPT writes this. It is so easy, right? Matt, want this thing? I just dropped a new YouTube video. Click it here and watch it, right? Well, this same exact thing I will copy and paste, and I will go over to my community in here, post that same exact video in here, right? And again, like I mentioned before, I'll go to Facebook and I just copy and paste it there. And I'll also do the same thing on LinkedIn. All right. So let me just show you that to you really briefly. Because again, it's just about distribution. How much can I get more out everywhere? Right. And this again is the same exact copy, right? If you guys can see this right now, same exact copy as my email. Over here, I can go back to my page and it's going to be the same exact copy. Okay. I copy and paste, distribute as many places as possible. I do the same thing on Threads. Okay. So let's come back to my iPad. All right. So the whole goal here is to get more people to go to YouTube. That is my nurture machine. That is my long-term engine. And again, so many coaches right now do not focus on anything long-term. They focus on DM ads. They focus on follower ads. And that's great, right? You can make some money today, but in 3 to 6 months from now, you have to keep running them. And if you don't, you're not going to make sales. Okay, you just won't. So you've got to have some sort of middle of funnel. I am very bullish on the middle of funnel and actually less aggressive on my front end. The reason for that is I can still be profitable in my front end ads with a simple 2x return on ad spend. But if I can get people into my ecosystem and I can help them build a better relationship with me, when they do convert on the back end off organic, I know they really came from an ad. And I also can charge a lot more and the renewal rate is so much higher. Okay. So I'm telling you, this is the number one thing. Like right now, when people tell me, hey, they're struggling with coaching, I just want to ask, what's your middle of funnel? Oh, I just post on Instagram, post on stories. Okay. That's not enough. Okay. That's not enough, which leads me to the next thing. Okay. So far that's a play. I run ads, right? I build an email list. I nurture them with YouTube videos. And then over here, conversion. Okay. Conversion. How do I convert those people? And there's two things that I do on a regular basis to move people further along down the process. All right. Number one is I'll host monthly masterclasses. Now, ideally I shoot for monthly, but sometimes if my energy is low or I'm traveling, I'm like, I'm not doing this. But I will do them every 6 to 8 weeks. Ideally, they're once a month, but often it turns into every 6 to 8 weeks. And what I'm doing here is I'm doing the same thing I would do in a VSL, right? So it's just a simple value plus pitch, okay? And we found that about 25% of our clients have registered for a masterclass before they purchase with us. Now, not all the time does it happen immediately where they like go to the webinar and they then buy right away. Like that doesn't always happen. I wish it did, but it gives them enough value and they can build more of a relationship and trust me more to where when the time is right, they will reach out and apply. Again, 25% of our clientele have registered for a masterclass before buying anything from us. Okay. So we'll do that. And then with this, typically with this pitch that I mentioned in the masterclass, we'll typically have a limited time promotion with it. So I will have a masterclass, I'll host it on a Tuesday, and typically from Tuesday until Friday, I will email everybody who registered for it and give them a special limited time offer that expires on Friday, okay? And that creates urgency. Urgency and scarcity is what makes a lot of people take action. So I can do that on an evergreen basis with these masterclasses without hitting up my list, right? These masterclasses here, without hitting up and emailing my list all the time. Doors open, scholarship, looking for 5, blah, blah, blah. Like that's going to burn my list, right? And I want to keep that list very value focused because I want them to keep building a relationship with me and I don't want them to get turned off, right? I want them to be like, dude, I can't wait until I get to the stage where I'm ready to work with Matt. And I do that by keeping a very smart promotional strategy and not just burn them all. Does that make sense? Which leads me again to the next thing here. We still do quarterly promotions. All right. So I'm doing all this stuff on an evergreen basis, but then quarterly is when I will do a really hard call to action. Okay. These quarterly promotions could look like one of the ones we'll often run is a 7-day trial. Okay. So somebody could try to work with us with a deposit down. And if they like it, they can keep paying. Other things that you can run are scholarships, right? So scholarship promos, and running's not good. Scholarship promos where you give a full ride away, 1 to 2 full rides away, and you give away multiple partial scholarships to those that apply. Those can work extremely well. Or I've even done, which have crushed it before, are just money back guarantees. So I've gone back and forth with like money back guarantees. Our current offer does not have one. I don't think I spelled that right. Our current offer does not have one, but what we will do is we will use it as a marketing asset and we will promote it for a full week. Hey guys, we don't do this, but this week only we're doing a money back guarantee. Man, we did this in January and this added another $50,000 of revenue from that promotion alone. And honestly, the trials are about the same too. They'll typically get another $50,000 that month. So again, just great promotional strategies, but I'm not doing them monthly because I don't want to burn the list. Okay. So let me transition back to my computer real quick to show you these funnels and we'll close out with marketing and then kind of move on to sales. All right. So here is this super simple opt-in page for my webinars. I've used this same one over and over again. And I just changed out the copy. Okay. It has a 25-30% opt-in rate. It is super simple. I just put in my information, put in the new copy here. They would register. And then on the other page of it, it just has a button to add the event to their calendar. That's it. Okay. Typically with these, we'll get 200 to 400 registrations. And we'll do that just by emailing the list, posting in the Skool group, posting on social, and I'll spend a couple $100 a day or so on ads to mainly retargeting ads, but some will be to cold to try to get more people to show to the event. And off of that, if I get 200 to 400 registrations, I should get 70 to 100 people to show to the actual event. And we shoot for about a 5 to 10% booking rate of those that will go there who will apply. Okay. Doesn't always happen, but again, like the longer term play of those masterclasses matters more than the immediate cash up front for me. I'm playing the long-term game. Okay. So that's that. And then the promotional stuff that we do on a quarterly basis look like this. Super simple, right? It's just, this is the 7-day trial one we've ran before. Try our system risk-free for 7 days. It's a quick little video sales letter that walks through what they get. You got to apply by Friday. Click here to start the trial. And again, they apply. If they're qualified, they can book a call immediately. If they're not qualified, it'll kick it to us in Slack. Then we'll reach out to them individually to ask any follow-up questions before we invite them to a call. All right. And then again, just a super short, brief explanation of how it works. Okay. Again, I'm at the stage now where I can include price and things. So in this video, I give a price range. I say, hey, all of our offers are between $5,000 and $10,000. And I share that in all of my stuff. That's because, again, we're at the stage where we can do that and quality matters more than quantity for me. So I share that. If you're a starting business owner, I probably wouldn't. Like if you're doing under 50K a month, hold the price. You know, you can give a range if you want to, but as you get more established, it'll help you lean things out, because I only have, guys, I do 200K a month and I have one closer. That blows people away. And the reason we do that is because we are so efficient, and our close rate is about 40% because we cancel a ton of calls, or like we don't let people book unless they're good fits. So I'd rather have one person to manage than have 2 to 3 closers and have to manage them and have a bunch of crappy calls on the calendar. Then they're upset because they get bad leads, blah. I like lean, mean efficiency. So I share price often, a range in here. And even like this, like, I used to not say it was a deposit. I was like, there's a small refundable deposit. And I was like, no, I'm just going to tell them it's a $500 refundable deposit. Okay. If you can't pay us $500 to try the system out, it's not a good fit. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then I even have like another promotion with this of like, if you guys hop on this 7-day trial and you just want to work with us, we'll just give you $1,000 off. So we'll double the incentive for them to just sign up with us right on the spot. And the best leads that come through this will skip the trial and just take $1,000 off. And it works really, really well. Okay. And then FAQ, yeah, everything's pretty much in there, right? So that's that funnel. Let's jump back into the iPad. Okay, so to close out a marketing loop here, and I'm going to cover my weekly flow in a second of how I do all this stuff, because I think that's really important to understand, is not just here are all the things we do, but here's how I actually do it. But we still book a lot of our calls in the DMs and text messages. Okay. So again, I still find for coaching, consulting, people want to talk to the brand before they make a decision. Right. So we still, even though we don't run DM ads, we book a ton of call in the DMs because this whole system feeds off, right? If someone's in my Skool group or someone sees the VSL, the easiest place and the safest place for a lot of them to communicate with me is still Instagram. So they will DM us on Instagram and ask about the offer, right? And then we'll book a call. Okay. Same thing with SMS. All of the 2 lead magnets that I shared above, right? Skool group and VSL, when they opt in, they get texted and they said, hey, did you get access to it? Hey, do you have any questions about it? Hey, what type of coaching do you do? And then our team will talk to them and invite them to a call. Now, if you guys have been seeing a lot of my marketing recently, like I shared, we have an AI booking bot now. We're slowly installing that into some of our funnels, but we have to prove it and beat our condition, which is we have 2 setters. One works morning, one works afternoon. And they've been with us for 2+ years. So we'll move some of the funnels over to the booking bot. But again, my team is really good, really efficient, very lean, very minimal management. So we don't need a booking bot because our efficiency is already really good. I will still be playing with it because it can absolutely continue to decrease our expenses, but we're not the place where we need to do that. And then the last place that we also will message people is Skool, right? If they join the Skool group, they also get a welcome message in there, and we'll ask pretty much similar questions to qualify them before we invite them to call on all 3 platforms. Okay, so let's come back down to here. Again, here's how I do all this, because I know that's probably one of the biggest questions people have is like, wow, it's a ton of stuff. How do you do this? So on a weekly basis, here's what this generally looks like. I film on Tuesdays. So today is Tuesday. I'm filming this video right now. During this time period, I will typically do a long form YouTube video. If I have any ads I need to make, which ideally I do, I'll make 5 to 10 new ads. And typically that may sound like a lot, but that could be 2 video scripts, right? And then 3 to 4 hooks per video. It doesn't take very long. It takes me 10, 15 minutes max, and I'll send that over to my editor. Very easy. Same thing with YouTube video. This is going to be a longer one. It's probably like an hour, but I can get most of this done in like a 2-hour block. And that like is what feeds, this engine, right? Recently I've been doing a case study video on YouTube as well. So it's a client interview, and these are really actually starting to hit. At first I was like, oh, it's kind of a waste of time. I don't want to like do all that, but honestly, they're the easiest videos to make. And for those who are really serious about working with you, these work extremely well because people want to see other people like them who've bought from you. So highly recommend. We're doing one educational video like this, one case study video that's on YouTube. And then again, I will do 2 emails minimum. If I have more energy, I might do more, but I'll do 2 emails and a Skool group post promoting the YouTube video. And again, it's the same. I showed you a second ago. I posted on LinkedIn. I post it everywhere, post it on Threads. It's just copy paste, same email on Skool, on Facebook group, everywhere. Okay. And the 2 videos typically you just promote these 2 things. Hey, case study. Hey, this out here, new video, right? That's it. And then for Instagram posts, typically what I'll do for these is I just repurpose the same topic here. So like if this video here is on how I make 200K a month as an online coach, you will see on my feed probably 3 to 5 things from that same week that are going to be either carousels or they're going to be reels that are just excerpts of what I talked about here. So I will take the transcript. Currently I'm using Poppy AI. It's incredible. I'll take the transcript from this YouTube video, plug it into Poppy AI, and ask Poppy, hey, I want 5 topics that I can make short form content from from this video, go. And then it'll give me the topics and I'll decide, okay, I want to make this a carousel. I want to make this a reel, and boom. And I'll do all that. Again, that kind of actually fits into this 2-hour block on Tuesdays. Sometimes it might be a little longer. I'll give myself some more leeway. It could be 2 to 3 hours. But again, this feeds the whole marketing engine versus me spending time every day doing it, right? I don't like doing that. Now, monthly content flow. Monthly content flow is going to be one live masterclass / webinar. I typically do a 10-day promotional period for this. So it's about 10 days. So, it'll be like Monday until the following Tuesday. So it's actually about 9 days of promoting. Post on all platforms every single day during this period, email daily, inviting people to it. And then again, I have a limited time replay that closes on Friday at the same time that the special promotion ends on Friday as well. Okay. So that is my entire marketing system. This generates us one sales rep. It generates us 200K in new revenue just from marketing. Okay. Again, that is a system. We don't run any DM ads or follower ads right now. Again, if I was a starter, I would, but at this stage, I'm playing the long-term play. I'm trying to build a list, trying to build trust, because that is the future. All right. Up next, let's talk about the sales system. So marketing's job is to generate leads and let's say calls or like people close to calls. Sales really starts, I'd say for me, in the DMs or like a communication with somebody, right? So marketing can book calls automatically, or marketing can generate leads who are talking to us. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. So again, this will all start in the DMs, or booking calls could be again in the DMs. It could be from text messages, could be from Skool group joins. It could be from email marketing. And it could also be from like YouTube description links like of this video. PS, if you guys want to work with us, install this in your business, there will be a schedule button down below. You can click that at any time during this video to learn more about what we can do and see if we can help. Okay, boom, short plug. And then also the same thing in Skool. Underneath every single video inside my Skool group, there is, hey, want help implementing this? Book a call here, right? It's pretty much everywhere. All right. Now, that's where the conversation starts to book a call, or someone will book a call from. Then they'll go into our Go High Level sequence. Now, this is key. Okay. With sales, a lot of times in the coaching space, you'll have issues with show rate, right? And there's 2 things that you can do to dramatically improve show rate. Actually, three things. And I'll cover all of them. Number 1 is to confirm the call ASAP, okay? ASAP. So the first message that goes out at the bottom of ours, it says, hey, you're booked in for this time at this time. Confirm with yes, Y-E-S, below to confirm the call, okay? Get that confirmation. I'm telling you, if you don't get that confirmation, it's already a 50-50 chance they're not gonna show, okay? So we have this set up in Go High Level to where this message goes out. If someone does not respond to that message in 4 hours, then our team gets notified in Slack. And our team will then send another follow-up and say, hey, saw that you booked a call, but haven't confirmed yet. Are you still down for this time? We need a yes. If we don't get a yes within 24 hours, our team is supposed to cancel that call unless, we've had a conversation with them on Instagram, or like we know they're a good lead. But if they just came in from like, let's say an email marketing or a Skool post and they've never talked to us, we're going to cancel it. We've just found that if we can talk to a lead before they book a call, or like before they come to a call, their chances of showing are way higher than if they're not. Okay. Then they'll go through a reminder flow. This is emails every day, sometimes twice a day, some case studies in there, all that stuff. And then again, we ask for a confirmation 24 hours before. So we ask for 2 confirmations. Again, this is dramatically improves our show rate. Our show rate is around 75%. Industry average is around 50%. And that's honestly because a lot of people keep calls on the calendar that shouldn't be there. If someone's a spammer, if someone opts in and their phone number does not work, like it doesn't send, their emails do not send, we're going to cancel that call. Like we've had a couple people this week put their application, they just have 1 letter as their name. I'm like, get that off the calendar, get it off. You know what I mean? So again, 24 hours confirm. If let's say the call is tomorrow at 5 p.m. or at noon, all right? So it's almost noon now. If their call is tomorrow at noon, a message goes out the day before at noon. Hey, we're still in the books for tomorrow. Everything good for you? If we don't hear from them by the end of the day, our team will send another manual message. Hey man, just wanted to sweep back around. Are you still good for tomorrow? Let me know. I've got a lot of people who are looking to get space on the calendar. I want to make sure that you're still good for tomorrow, right? And then if they don't hear from them, we're going to cancel that call, okay? So again, we are bullish on canceling calls because I want to have a high show rate. And if somebody wants that calendar spot, I want them to have that calendar spot who actually is going to show. I can't tell you when I've audited clients' accounts and they show me their calendar is like full for like 5 to 7 days, but their show rate's 20%. I'm like, we gotta cancel more calls. You just gotta cancel more calls, because if your show rate is 50%, okay, your show rate's 50%, just basic math. Your show rate's 50% and you're closing at 25% of your deals. You would need 5+ calls a day to get one sale, right? But if you have a really high show rate and you have a high close rate because you know the right people, you could have 3 calls on your calendar and sign 1 to 2 clients, right? So like for me, I'm all about efficiency. I want to have a stacked calendar. If I can have, 6 calls, 75% show rate, I should still get 2 to 3 deals per day in versus 1 deal per day because your show rate sucks and your close rate's crappy because you didn't cancel calls. So don't play the vanity metric of how many calls can I get on the calendar. That's silly. Okay, so coming back to this, go high level again. The 2 things that we do to improve show rate: confirm immediately, confirm 24 hours before. And then the third thing, I learned this from Jeremy Haynes, not in his mastermind. Just want to give a big shout out to him. He gives great value on the YouTube. Go find him. He calls them hammer them ads, but they're essentially retargeting ads. Okay. And these are either engagement campaign ads or they are brand awareness ads. And all they are doing is they are just putting like organic content that answers FAQs or overcomes objections in front of the people who've either opted in or have booked a call with you. And you just keep putting it in front of them. And the frequency on these could be anywhere from 2 to 10 times per day. Okay. So that means they're going to see like 2 to 10 of your organic pieces of content a day as they're in your sales cycle. So if somebody is a cold lead and they've just opted in and they don't know who you are, well, they're going to learn who you are pretty fast because you're going to be everywhere. You're going to be everywhere. So we do this as well. And again, like a lot of our prospects come to call, they're like, dude, you're freaking everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I want that, right? And I want that for you too. Because if they just saw one DM ad, they DM'd you and they don't know who you are, they forgot why they booked the call, what's the chance of them showing up? Versus like, I'm going to hammer them and put content in front of them every day. And for me and how I have these set up, I have it anyone who's clicked an ad, engaged in a content in the last 30 days, or have opted in. And that's just based off my volume. If I was spending $100,000 or $10,000 a day, I would just put it towards like, just calls booked. But for us and the volume we get through, and I'm starting to run some ads again that they're actually direct to a calendar page without an opt-in. I'm starting to include people that click on an ad as well as who have opted in. Okay. So you can make this a little bigger, but the whole goal here is like people who are engaging in your content, let's shove content in front of them to help nurture them faster. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is 1 call versus 2 call model for sales. If you're a newer coach, I'm going to highly suggest doing the 2 call model because you can build trust and you're typically not as good of a sales rep when you get started. And if you can have 2 calls and you have the calendar space for it, what you can do is on the first call, provide a little value, give them a little bit of get them excited for the next call, but really get to know them better. Maybe they can get to know you. And then on that next call, that's where you can position your offer and tell them exactly how you can help. If you can get people to show up twice on a connection call and a discovery call and a sales call, the close rate's gonna be way higher. If you're a more experienced coach, or you work honestly like B2B, like when I say B2B, like even what I do, I kind of almost consider B2C because I work with a lot of solo provider coaches, like maybe small teams. And the sale is very similar to a B2C because it's very emotional. But if you're like doing email marketing for a Fortune 500 company, like you're not going to do a 2 call probably, unless your offer price is so big and you have to make them a custom quote. So again, for most of the clients we work with, they're going to probably be a 1 call or 2 call model. So for simplicity, I say if you're a new coach, do a 2 call model, get to know them, build trust, have a second call. If you're more experienced and have a lot more volume, the 1 call is going to be better for just efficiency. Like again, like kind of talking about calendar availability. If you only have a certain number of spots on your calendar, and half of them are connection calls, you're only going to get a deal a day. Like versus, okay, all of them are 1 call closes. I have all the, retargeting stuff set up and all this stuff. So they're coming in a little bit hotter. If I have 5 calls a day or 6 calls a day and my calendar availability is good, my show rate's good, close rate's good, I can get 2 deals a day per closer, right? Versus like 1 close per day or 1 close every other day because you're stacked with discovery calls. Okay. So hope that makes sense. All right, next let's go over into payments. All right, so a lot of people like push for MRR or paid in fulls. Again, this is all based off of what we do right now. Right now, I am pushing for more paid in fulls, and we'll often use Affirm if someone can't pay it all up at front. And again, the reason for this is we run a lot of ads. right? And I want to make the money back on ads that I spend. If I do monthly payment options or like, a 4-pay, 5-pay, I won't make money on that deal or make any profit until the second or third, or maybe even, not fourth month would be terrible, but let's say 90 days, right? That stinks. No business should be in the red to get a client. Like that's just a hard thing to do. So if you are spending a lot of money on ads, I'm going to preferred. I think I spelled that wrong to you guys. I push right now for paid in fulls for the initial coaching consulting package. And then on the back end, we can offer an MRR model to keep them in the ecosystem. But the biggest thing, I don't care if you do paid in full or payment plan, is just make sure that you're collecting more, ideally twice as much as it costs you to get a client. Okay, so for some of our health and fitness coaches, instead of selling like a $3,000 to $5,000 offer, some of them will do $1,000 down and then $300 to $500 a month thereafter. And they're doing that because it costs about $500 to get a client, right? And if I do $1,000 down, now I essentially have gotten a 2x on my ROAS, and that gives me another $500 to put back into the system, which then again will then go back into getting a new client, right? So it kind of like feeds itself into this ecosystem of like, you get a client, you put that money back, you get more, so you're never pulling out of your pocket, okay? Hormozy's huge on this. Like it's just huge. It's called client finance acquisition. It's like if you can get a 2x on your front end, you just put it back, knowing that you're going to keep servicing those clients over a very long time with MRR models, etc. You're in a good spot. But we really want that 2x. And for us to do that, we push a lot on the paid in fulls on the front end, because the funnels that I have chosen are longer term plays, right? They are more brand building plays. They are building an email list, building an ecosystem, building trust. So for us, we do a lot of paid in fulls so we can hit that 2x plus, etc. Now, what we'll also do right now is that it's if you decide you want to do a 2-pay or a 4-pay, we will increase that. So we used to not do this. We used to just have, oh yeah, sure, we can break it up. Nobody did paid in fulls. so we changed it, right? So now it's at least 20% more if people want to do the payment plan. But again, that's where Affirm comes in, where Affirm is a third-party financing company where somebody could finance a deal from Affirm, and Affirm will offer 6 months at, if they qualify, they have good credit, 6 months at 0% APR. So that would allow them to pay this off with over 6 months, and they would still get this paid in full deal, which is a huge deal for them, right? So that's how that works. Now, last part of sales is once somebody does sign up, we have used Go High Level for our onboarding, and then a client will have an intake form sent to them immediately when they purchase, and that will send them over to Skool, right? And then that will also send them, intake form, and then also their coaching agreement, okay? And all of that is automated, right? And then if they don't close, then we inside Go High Level have another pipeline, and again, Go High Level is what we use for our CRM, but we have another pipeline that is a long-term nurture. And these people are going to be people that we will send invites, manual invites every month to a masterclass. All right. So instead of reaching out to these people being like, yo, you still looking for help? Or are you still trying to grow? We will just text them and say, hey man, we're hosting a masterclass this week, thinking about you based off our last call. Are you interested in coming? Yes. Awesome. Here's the link. How are things going since our last conversation? Easily turns into a sales conversation just like that. But we led with value versus, hey man, how are things doing? You want to buy from me? You know what I mean? Doesn't work. Okay, so we're about to wrap up sales. Let's come down to the KPIs that we shoot for with all of these, and also even the payment structure that we have for our team. So again, our KPIs we're shooting for is a 75% show rate. And again, that's because we're bullish with canceling calls, making sure only qualified people are on there. We want a 40% close rate. Now, this is pitch to close rate. This is not like call to close. Because again, I'd say about 80 to 85% of our calls get pitches. Okay, some of them don't, but this should be better if we're proactively canceling calls. Okay, and then we're shooting for a more than 50% cash collected rate. Cash collected rate would be if you had a $10,000 deal, we would want to collect on average out of all the sales we made and payment plans as well as paid in fulls above 50%. And again, there's been times in my life where I was like, I want more MRR. I'm not there right now. Our MRR is around 80 to 90,000, and that's close enough to our burn rate to where I'm happy. I don't need any more. I want to keep leveraging paid in fulls. Okay. 10% of our cash collected goes to our closer, right? That's our typical payout for this. If you're B2C or have a smaller ticket price of $2K or something like that, you might want to do 15% just because the ticket price is so low. And hopefully your fulfillment cost, which we'll jump into in a second, is low enough to where you could do that. We do bonus our closers if a 2 call is needed. we will give them another 2%. Okay. So if they take a discovery call and turn that into a sales call, we will give them 12% total. Yeah, it's done right because we're not trying to burn the lead. You know what I mean? Like if someone requires 2 calls, let's give them those 2 calls. And I'm going to incentivize them that because they handled it the right way versus trying to force a sale when someone wasn't ready. Okay. All right. That's a sales system. Okay. The last thing we've got is probably the most important thing for those of you guys who are still here. This is awesome. This is our fulfillment system. This is how we get our clients results. And this is everything that we do. Okay. And this is going to, again, I'm going to share with you guys what we do. And then as I'm sharing it, think about how you can apply this to your business. All right. Here are the main offers that we have right now. We have a launch program, which is a newer program, like someone who is a newbie, doesn't have 10 clients, like 5 or 10 clients. We'll put them through our accelerator program, which is a basic business foundational program that teaches content sales, offer creation, DMs, basic organizational stuff like that is this program. Okay. The second program, this is our core offer. This is the one that we want to sell the most of, is our growth accelerator program. So if you guys have seen my stuff, go to my website, see the VSL there. All of that is selling the growth accelerator program. This is our done with you premium offer where we will help clients script their ads, help them build a booking bot. It's a 6-month program, and it is very, very strong offer. We have a 9.6, 9.7 out of 10 satisfaction score, actually for both offers. But this one, again, has most of the time and energy going into it because this is who we want to serve. And then the last offer to work with me as of right now is $25K for the year. And that's just to work with me. Okay. So I have my team fulfilling on most of these offers. I'm still involved in the clients and stuff like that, but I don't have to take calls with the clients. My team does. I've trained them on all of that. And yeah, I want to talk about this offer because I like this offer suite because this was the biggest thing that helped me go from 100K a month to 200K a month was having an offer suite. And that's what they always say is like the rule of one offer, one channel until you get to 7 figures. And that worked, but then we kept hitting around 100 to 150K trying to force this offer. And what was happening is we had people who were like good fits for this offer. And we were trying to make them buy this offer. And, this is double the price. And because people weren't ready to run ads, we didn't have all the strategies in place to really help them. So what had happened was we started trying to just sell one offer to all these people and they weren't ready for it. So we started getting more refund requests and people were unhappy because they're like, hey, I can't do the next part of the strategy. I can't run ads because I haven't got clients yet. So we were forced with this challenge of being like, well, we can't keep forcing people in this offer if they're not ready for it. We need a beginner offer. And we just cut out the beginning part of the accelerator that doesn't have any ads. It has baby ads, has boosted posts and stuff in there. And we put that into this launch offer. And this dramatically improved our return on ad spend because instead of having a lower close rate and having more people have to do payment plans because its ticket price was so high, we could get paid in fulls, 2 pays for this offer very easily. And our close rate went up. And it's because we had more offers to give to the right people. And I'm sharing that because this is huge. And I wish I knew this earlier is like, once you hit 7 figures or like you're close to it, start making some not even a downsell. It's not a downsell. It's just, because a downsell will be like, all right, they're not a good fit. They can't afford it. Let's give them something else. Like if someone comes in and they're not a good candidate for this because they already have 10 clients, they're already making money. I would rather finance this, right? I'd rather finance the core program. But if someone's not ready for the core program, I'm not going to sell them the core program because then again, the results won't be good. So I'll sell them this one, right? Again, that was the number one thing that helped us go from 100K, 150K to 200K was just having another offer that we could sell somebody based off where they're at in the cycle. Okay. And then lastly, the mastermind, I also added that this year as well. I love that because they're the first people to get all the stuff that I learned before you guys do. Like they're the ones who I go to. They're the ones who have Slack access to me. I talk to on a regular basis. And I love this group. There's only 10, 20 people in here total because it's taken a lot of my energy and time. So I just keep that really tight. Okay. So those are the offers there. So for you, it's like, as you're watching this, do you have an offer suite or are you ready to do one? If not, if you're under 7 figures or at least under 50K, just have one offer. But then as you keep growing to scale faster, I'd highly suggest adding more offers. Okay. So when a client joins one of these offers, they get added to Skool. We have a one-on-one marketing coach that's assigned to that client to hold them accountable through everything they're doing. And then ideally what we're doing is we're booking a call with them, their onboarding call within 24 hours. Now, how we have this structured right now is when someone comes in, we want them to go through the entire module 1 first before the first call. So that way on that onboarding call, we're already knocking things out versus like, hey, let's have your onboarding call tomorrow. When I say 24 hours, like we want to book that call within 24 hours, but that call could be for next week or it could be 3 to 5 days later. to give the person enough time to go through the content. So we actually use that call wisely and not just say, welcome, my name is Matt. Here's what we're going to do together. Did you get logged into Skool? Like, that type of stuff. Like a lot of that stuff is actually handled on the closing call. Awesome. You're in the group now. Great. You see this right here. Great. First step for you is to go over here and watch this video. Also, when someone buys in the initial intake email series, all of this is covered. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. So it's very clear. They don't have to guess what to do. So I don't need a call just to tell somebody what to do because it's everywhere. It's in the emails. It's in the Skool group. The salesperson talks about it. So I really try to make this efficient to where on that first call, we are actually working on their business. Okay. Once all this is happening, so the service deliverables that we offer, we give our clients, we write their ads for them. So this is done by our team, right? We have a copywriter and we have team members who are just designed with this. So the marketing coach plus the client will submit a form for the coach or for the copywriter to make the ads for the client so they can deliver it to them. Okay. Inside of there, we have 2 calls a month, and all of these calls are based off of activation points. And then there's also a call with me. Again, we launched a booking bot. So I'm the one who's trained in that. So I would coach my client through that. Now, I want to talk about the activation points because this is huge. This is how we scale. Is that your offer of how you help people. So this is the GA activation points. This is the step-by-step process everyone has to go through to see results, right? We want to have this thing just like crystal clear of how do I do this and what do they need to do to see results. So like step 1, optimize their offer. Step 2, optimize their profiles and start posting content. Step 3, launch their new offer. So we give them a fast cash strategy to get some cash in the door, because what we really want to do here is cover the program cost, right? So cover investment. And if we can do that within the first month to 2 months, the rest of the 6 months to work with us are essentially free, right? And they have money for ads. Then from there, we will launch follower ads or direct DM ads or something like that to start first. We'll audit their DMs and sales calls. If they're using a booking bot, we'll help them build a booking bot. We get them set up and go high level. We then help them make a free training / VSL or a program breakdown video that walks through how they help people. This will be paired with the ads that we're running. And then last but not least, this is, I would say this is optional, but ideally, we would love to get someone to get to here is where we can launch conversion ads. What conversion ads being ads that go to a landing page, that give phone number, email, all that stuff. So they can start building an email list and have the longer term play of sending those people to YouTube, etc. So this is what we ideally want to take people through. Now, they have to go through these things one at a time. And if somebody gets stuck in one spot, we're going to keep spending time in that spot until they've mastered that to move to the next thing. Okay. So this is how you build a scalable offer. Your offer needs to have activation points. And then ideally, each of these activation points are also based on a time. All right. So like optimize offer for us, this is week 2, 1 or 2. Week 3, this is this. We want to try to get these things done as fast as possible because again, we want the time to value to be very short. Okay. And there are some people that I know who are in the space too will try to launch their ads the first week. We don't do that just because we want to make sure we have all the foundational stuff set up first, like your offer, your profile, all organic content has to be done first. But there are people that do that, right? And again, it's like, how can you continue to shorten this to make sure that the person gets results? Because the sooner they get results, the more word of mouth referral they'll give people. All right, so coming back to this over here, more on the fulfillment system of like, how do I keep this thing super tight? I want to share this with you guys. So our coaching team does daily stand-ups every single day. And we talk about our clients. So we talk about the clients that we're working with. If there's anybody that's going to launch ads, we'll cover that then and there so the whole team can learn from it. And if anybody's having a hard time, right, our entire team, fulfillment staff, will work together on coming up with a plan for that client. And that's huge, right? So you don't just get like one coach if you work with us, and probably similar to you guys, is you'll have daily meetings or at least weekly meetings to have, hey, here are all the clients I'm having a hard time with. What should I do? I learned this from when I was a physical therapist. We did weekly stand-ups, and all the patients I was having a hard time with, I could share it with all the other clinicians. And the results that we were able to get our clients were so much better because we could spitball ideas of like, here's what we've tried, hasn't been working, etc. And we do this on a daily basis because we have more clients than I had as a PT, and we have a big enough team to where more people have things to bring up. Okay. So that helps like keep the quality really good as we're looking at these KPIs of even the clients that we do have of, how many clients have they signed? How much money have they made? All of that, we're covering that on a daily basis. and just reviewing it. And then lastly, we use Airtable for tracking our clients' progress. So in Airtable, we will record every call, like the call notes from every single call that a coach has. They upload Fathom link as well as notes. The client themselves submits a monthly check-in form, okay, monthly form. And on that form, it'll ask questions like, how much did you spend on ads? How many calls did you book? Now, the coach already has an idea of this because they have a one-on-one marketing coach who's working with them. But then this gives us data for two parts. One is for us to know, like we have a simple red, yellow, green system to where if somebody is doing well and they're on track, they're green. If somebody's struggling, we're going to yellow. If someone's like MIA or, they're upset, they're red. And we can just quickly identify who needs help just based off that system. So their coach is going to be filling those out, but this monthly form is going to give us real data of like where they specifically are at, because sometimes people's emotions are different than how their business is actually doing. So we can have this analytic data to help with that. And then second part of this is we also have satisfaction scores in here, quality performance and stuff like that for our team, so that we know how are we doing and what can we do better, right? And that's going to actually come down to here. Let's just look down at this. We have fulfillment KPIs for each of our coaches. These are the 3 KPIs, right? These are like the main KPIs. Let's talk about that and I'll get to fulfillment costs after. But we want a satisfaction score of the coaching received as a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, that's high. Okay, but like what can we do to be better, right? And if anybody's below that, we need to see, do they need to be switched out for a coach, or what can we do to make sure this is higher? The second one to make sure that all these work, this is our head coach's responsibility, is 75% of the forms must be submitted, because if not, it's bad data. Okay. And then the last KPI, they have a couple more, but these are the main ones, is satisfaction score, is renewal rate. We have a 50% renewal rate. That's our goal. And the reason for that is we have different renewal offers that we have. And I'm going to cover that in a second, but because we have some that are like, just stay in the group for a couple $100 a month. And we also have more like you can work with Matt, or you can go to the next program, or you can just extend for 3 months or 6 months. We again created a renewal suite to collect more cash. And again, huge change in our revenue from that. Okay. One more thing I mentioned on this sheet I want to cover is for this fulfillment team. I talked about this in sales. Sales is about a 10% commission on the sale. For your offer or coaching consulting business to be scalable, especially with paid ads, your fulfillment cost should be around 20%. Okay. So how much you pay a coach to service your clients should be around 20%. So if you have a $500 a month offer, right, you should be paying around $100 a month to a coach. I think that's about right. I think about right. Maybe 125. Yeah, I think 125. So like 125 would be that range. Right. And that might be like, oh, I'm not paying them nothing. It's not, okay? Because let me just show you some quick math here just to help you see this, because I've heard it time and time again. But if your program is 100%, right? That's just 100% of your program is what it costs. 20% goes to fulfillment, 20% goes to marketing, 15% goes to sales, okay? And then another 15% is going to go just to overhead, like tech and stuff like that. And subtract all this, minus, you're left with 30% margins, okay? Now, the only time that your cost you pay a coach could go up is if you have no marketing or you don't have a sales team. But again, if you're trying to go to 7 figures, this is your safest bet to do it and to do 7 figures with a team, right? With the sales team, paid ads, etc. So just know your numbers, because a lot of people don't see this. But if you're going to run with ads, 20% of your top line is going to go back into ads. So your fulfillment cost needs to be 20%. Okay. If it's at 30%, all of a sudden you're at 20% margins. You got one bad month, you're in the red. Okay. All right. So almost done with this. Let's come back to the renewal process and then we'll close this thing out. Okay. So how we do renewals right now, we have our closer actually do the renewals. Okay. I think over time this is going to change, but it's helped us a lot, and just help the money man be the money man, and then the coaching team be the coaching team. Some of our coaches will do renewals if like the client directly asks for it. We'll just have them do it. But right now, this also helps our closer make more money too and feed his family. So we like this for now. Long term, it's going to change. But the enrollment specialist to do this we use Go High Level, and has a task assigned to him every 45 days to check in with that client. So it's not just like, oh, the sales guy's reaching out to me again. If they're going through a 90 or a 6-month program, they'll have 4 to 5 interactions with Jared, he's our enrollment specialist, before they get to the renewal process. So this is huge because, again, they get to have that relationship, and oftentimes he might, review a sales call, hop on, do some role play with them. He acts as a coach. Okay. So that helps that conversation work really well versus like the sales guys just knocking, let's hop on a call. You're like, it's the money, man, you know? So we have that. And then what happens right before the renewal is up? So about 30 days or so before the renewal is complete. Again, we use Airtable, and a coach will complete a renewal form that says, you know, here's all the results that this client has gotten so far. Here's what I suggest them to go to. And that gets passed back over to Jared in Go High Level and emailed to him with his task to then reach out to that client to book a call. So once that renewal form is completed, again, it's about 30 days out, the sales guy will reach out to them, book a call, and make the offer. Now, sometimes these renewal offers are done earlier. Okay, we have a daily, I'm gonna try to give you all the systems, right? Every Monday, our sales team will meet with the coaching team. And if there's anybody that's crushing it, okay, we're gonna reach out. I don't care how much time they left from their program. I don't care if they have 5 months or 6 or 4 months or 3 or 1. We're gonna reach out to them and we're gonna try to make them another offer because they're doing well. And we know that for us to keep working with somebody in their business, it's gonna take at least a year, right? Like, I mean, honestly, like to make real lasting change and build a big business, it's gonna take 3 years. Okay, so we know that. So it's like, cool, when someone's crushing it, can we meet with them and can we offer them a better offer for where they're at right now? Or can we just tack on some more time? And typically what we'll do for that is like, let's say that they spent, you know, $10,000 with us and we're a third of the way in. And let's just say in value, they've gotten $5,000 of coaching. Well, what we can do is we can sell a 20K offer and then we'll sell it for 15K, right? So we're just subtracting, you know, this from 5K. Like, hey, if you want to renew now for the next 12 months, we'll actually give you a discount and you can renew for 15K. So you'll actually save $5,000. And we'll also give you, you know, these bonuses. We could bonus an in-person retreat. We could bonus a half-day consult with me, right? Something like that. But it's like, you're doing well, you're crushing it. Let's reinvest some of that money back in your business and let's keep this thing going, right? And that's every Monday we'll meet as a team and says, who's up for an early renewal and invite them through. All right. And again, the renewals that we have continue in the same program with your existing coach. They can upsell to the mastermind with me, or we've got a couple $100 a month to just stay in the group and come to group calls. You don't get any accountability, but you can still stick around the group. Right now, this is at $297 a month, right? Mastermind with me is at $25K. And then the renewals are anywhere from 5 to 10K right now, just depending on length. Okay. So boom, I covered a lot. I have 2 minutes left on my camera, so I got to wrap this thing up here. I've been checking every once in a while. But yeah, I hope this helps. I went through a lot today. This is a longer video that's going to share with you guys everything that I do from start to finish. If you guys want help implementing something like this or have questions about this, I will have a link down below to book a call with my team. We will have a full audit of what you're doing, and we'll kind of point out the biggest gaps that we see. And if we think we can help, we will let you know what it looks like to work with us. All right. So thanks for this video. If you guys liked it, smash the subscribe button. And again, book a call below if you're looking for help growing your business. All right. Peace.